Welcome in, everyone. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike. Sorry for the hour delay there. The maintenance crews took a little longer than we expected, and we believe we should be able to run pretty decent through the stream. Um, so, welcome in. We've had, as you've seen in the chat, the great debate. Mexico City Airport is way too many M's with an X at the end. Just really confusing. But it's MMMX, and X, I guess, marks the spot. Because here we are, folks, in the gate, really right next to our runway, which is somewhere right out there. Quick taxi to it, and we'll be out of here. Space City is where we're headed. You all are going, what is Space City? Houston, Texas. Think long and hard, it'll make sense. Usually does when you get all of that. But again, kind of a look. There's Mexico City itself proper in the distance to the left. High terrain to the right. And as we come around the rest of the airport, when you look at this, in the real world, and there is a payware scenery for it. I didn't buy it because I don't know how many more times I'll be back. Um, it's really unique. It looks like almost bird fencing, and I know that's not what it is. I'm pretty sure it's not T-Rex fencing because we're pretty close to where the movie set itself, not where it was filmed, but where it set itself in Costa Rica. So, maybe it is T-Rex fencing and brontosauruses and all. I don't know. So, but anyway, we are on the ramp. We are just about ready to power back here, folks. Trying to get a squawk code from Poscon, and we'll be on our way. So let's hop back up in the office here. Whoops, not that. Oh, well, there's the DB Cooper stairs. For those unfamiliar with DB Cooper, legend has it, and part legend, part reality. He did jump from a 727 back in the 70s over Oregon after robbing a bank. Of course, where the legend kicks in, did he live, did he die, what happened to the money, and so forth. Well, since then, they've installed a very simple switch that prevents the air stare from being deployed in flight on 727s, DC-9s, MD-80s, aircraft that employ a staircase like that. So, and it's just a simple switch. Like I said, they just move it over and it prevents it from coming down. No major, oh my gosh, we got to go back to the drawing board. Well, I guess they did to figure out which one they wanted. Anyway, so up here we go. We are in the 727 Whisper Jet service from Mexico City to Houston, Texas. Intercontinental is where we're going. Sorry, Hobby Lobby folks, we're not going there. We're going to Intercontinental, the new one. Newer, let's put it that way. It's been around quite a while. All right, so like I said, most every... Oh no, Hawker, say it is not so. People disturbing you on your lunch break. My goodness. And I thought you always spent lunch at Subway. or in the subway, one of the two. I always get it confused. So, all right, so looking over here at the checklist, we have checked the logbook. We're good. We'll double check just to make sure nothing broke while we were waiting to come on. Status. Is my airplane froze? Okay, maybe I have to be on a different screen. Hang on. Yep, that's what it was. Okay, so reports were good. Saw nothing to report. So the logbook looks good. We are currently on ground power, ground air. We will be kicking the EPU on here shortly to get fired up and roaring out of here. Quite literally roaring out of here. All right, and then back to the checklist. We'll go from the, it's the same thing, folks. It's AvTab. So if you have that free utility, it is the same thing as many of your EFBs. And if it's not the actual EFB, it's an option usually on it. All right, so landing gear pins. Yeah, I guess we have 3 aboard. Done the fire heat, start levers. Levers are right here, folks. All 3 down, idle cutoff. Lights have been checked. Route has been included. Briefings complete. Oxygen and masks checked. And we will be doing our good old let's get this thing loaded by using SimBrief. Oh, actually, I don't need that. I need this. And, of course, SimBrief. Well, actually, Sim Toolkit. And it's going to cover it up, and I'm going to move it to where we can see it. There we go. All right, so there's the flight. We are looking at a loadout here, 108 people. Now, I'm going to caveat this, and I'm going to do it in a different way. Hang on a second. I should have, I didn't think about this when I set this up. So this is kind of on the fly, so bear with me. That'll work. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do, let me bring in our actual load sheet. Let me see how it's going to show here. Where's my browser? Okay, so we got to say goodbye to Sim Toolkit for the moment. All right, now this is the airline we're flying with, folks, Guardian Air Alliance. They fly Pan Am, TWA, Atlas. Flight sim wise, or how do I want to say? Yeah, flight sim wise, even though what I'm about to say is a flight sim. They also fly DCS, Digital Combat Sim. Matter of fact, I don't know this for sure. This is just my spoken words. Guardian Air, I would say Guardian is the name of the squadron. But that's just me. Anyway, we fly people, supplies to the places, and then they go play DCS. I haven't come back to DCS because every time I do blue screen heaven, I don't like blue screens, folks, so I don't fly. Sorry. It's a very good simulation. I will not knock it beyond the fact I get a ton of blue screens. I don't want them. Crash to desktops and blue screens. Don't want them. But I will fly the airline side of the house for them. And I do, and you've seen it for quite a while here. We've been flying the 727 for them. So here's what the airline sent. What I'm wanting to focus on right here, the load distribution. Now, I know I come from an earlier time in the world when dinosaurs probably did roam the earth. People have told me that. Can honestly say I've never seen one. But anyway, PA1, PA3, load distribution, supposed to look like, to me, 81 people. That's the math I learned. However, I think this is the Philadelphia type math because they came up with 108 out of that. I don't get it. So, um, yeah, we'll see. We'll load the aircraft via the zero fuel weight plan, which is 123,340. Safe bet. And that may include 88 or 81 people and cargo, or I may bump up people and a little, we'll make it work. But we're going to aim for this number, not necessarily that number. Kind of blew my mind away. The addition and subtraction there in SimBrief slash however this generates came up with 108. Wow. And folks, I even thought crew members, but I'm like, 20 crew members on this flight? There's almost more crew than people. So, yeah, I think it's a little off, just a tad. So, anyway, let's get this out of the way and let's press on, as they say. Let me bring Sim Toolkit in. That way, we all have an idea of what we're aiming for. Again, 123,340. And we are currently, with the current loadout, well, let's go ahead and I'm going to at least bring this up. We'll go to 80. And see, we're at 116 now. I'm going to pop in some cargo. Okay, has that even gotten us close? Nope. So like I said, we may actually, in order to get there, end up at that number. Let's throw some people in first class. How we doing? 121. Set some people over the wings since that was the more leggy room area. Well, we're only off by 1,000 now. Pop another can of cargo down here. 23.6 will knock one body out, and 23,430. Well, we're off by another 100 pounds. So, we're going to lose some revenue. We'll kick someone out of first class. All right. There we go, folks. We're as close as we'll get. Now, the big number to look at there is the fuel. 30,051. Now, this is only about an hour and a half fly time. So the alternate is Dallas, so that's where a lot of this fuel comes in, plus our contingencies and all of that. So we'll load that in now. 30,051. All right, so oh, and I just screwed up our packs load. Oh, I don't believe I did that. Yeah, actually I do. Yeah, I really do believe I would do that, folks. So hang on. We'll try to recover a little bit here. Okay, where are we? 21. Put a couple in the back. Okay, 22,280. And I'm wanting 123. Sorry for that reverse there. 123,340. So we're aiming there. Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw another one up there. There we go. All right. Now, let's go to fuel. That's actually almost a good place to start. Well, we'll bump it up here. Where are we at? 3880. 30. I need to come off 500, so we'll drop. Total fuel still way under. Oh wait, I'm hitting the minus key. $34.80. Okay. Hannah Ryujin, welcome in. Thank you for flying with Mike and the follow. We sure appreciate you. Hang on, we're just getting the fuel tanks just a bit lowered here. Little, oh. 280. Let me just see if I'm okay with that. 280's fine. Perfect. All right, so we've actually loaded on pretty close to 123-200. Y'all want it? I'll bump it up one. I don't, it doesn't really matter now. There. Now we're at 430, an extra body in play. And we got a little bit more fuel than planned. That's just the way it goes, folks. So, I know it looks kind of strange. Actually, it really does. Hang on. Bear with me a second, folks. I just realized I had less fuel in my center tank than I did out on the outboards. Oh boy. Hang on. This is just not coming together well at all. Holy crud. Why is it doing that? It should be more balanced. Huh. I mean, ultimately, let me take a look how that looks. I'm going to pull Sim Toolkit out of here. Welcome in, Hannah Raje. Welcome. We may be employing some help from you here in a moment. Matter of fact, let me do that here. We're a lot, of course. My map went out. 520 errors. All right, let's see if I can't get a clearance from clearance. Hey, we did. All right. Must have to be right on my departure time. All right, so 6423. Cool. Let me put that in here real quick. And then we'll get back to fueling because I want to see how this is going to work out for me. Spending a heck of a lot more time in this than I wanted. 6, 4, 2, 3. On. Okay. Now, over here to the fuel tanks. All right, so what we're going to be doing is on takeoff, we'll leave it as is, and then we'll switch to where we have all of our cross feeds open until we lower down a lot closer to where these are. So, okay, so that'll give us an idea. So we're set. I'm not touching it anymore because it'll upset me. Within 30 minutes. Okay. I thought I was doing that, but you know, it is what it is. All right, folks, we're going to blast out of here. Okay, so we got the fuel. We got the passengers. 34.6 is our optimum. We're actually on this flight, as we look at Sim Toolkit, it's going to go to 33 till we get to Brownsville, Texas. Drop to 32 if we're not already descending before Corpus Christi, or as I like to call Corpus Crispy. I would really hate to be a small kid in that town. Woo! I could hear every kid going, Corpus Crispy. Not getting the T, getting the P, Papa. All right, so let's go back, see what all I missed. All right, so we got the fuel taken care of. So here we go. Passenger signs on. Window heat, as you saw already on. Hydraulic pumps. A is off, B is on. Oil coolers, normal flight, Gasper's on, APU flight instruments are set for departure, and auto brake is the only thing on the top I have not moved. We're all set light-wise, and navcom and altitude all set and verified. Oh, what's on my FMC? Hang on a second here. I think we're at the beginning. There we go. All right, time to fire up and get out of here. So to do that, let's fire up the APU. Okay, it's coming up. While we're waiting on that, let's do a quick introduction to the plane. 727. Oh, thank you. I totally forget. I get sidetracked and then totally forget about it. Thank you for that. Again, 727, a three-man crew ran by one person. So you got your captain, your first officer, and barely in the view is the flight engineer. He makes these two look pretty. That's his job, folks, plain and simple. So they can sit up there and be the surfers up there going, yeah, dude, hang 10, we're coming, man. He's got all the work behind us. All right, so. Okay, the APU should be pretty well fired up. Let's see if it's going to drop, and it is going to go up instead of drop. On it goes. Heading over to the panel. Make sure, folks, you switch the essentials to what you're using. So in this case, now we're on the APU. It really needs to be on. I just heard something. Oh, okay. All right, I heard a ding, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm getting a message. Message coming in from the CIA. Stand by. All right, so yeah, make sure you set these. Otherwise, you're going to get some really weird instrumentation readings. Found that out on the last stream. All right, so we're on APU. We got the bleeds on. They're going to actually be coming off here in a second. So, as is I think the galley power comes off for start too. All right, so we're going to pull up this little quick checklist. Batteries on, APU's on, stall warning. We'll do a check. Okay, I'm going to turn that up ever so slightly. Okay, emergency lights are armed. SIG passengers are set, window heat's on, radio set, parking brake set, APU's on. Go to the next page. All right, yep, we do turn the galley power off. Okay, beacon on. Galley power off. packs off. Bear with me a second, folks. I could not get this one. Oh, come. You're going to make me go in there and turn that off. I could not get this one down to cold real quick, so I just set it to cool and it went boom. Hopefully I didn't freeze it. It doesn't matter, we don't have epoxy turned on anyway. Okay, pack valves open. We're ready to start up. Okay. First thing, get rid of the jetway. Oh, let's go ahead. Get rid of the air cart. And disconnect GPU. And get rid of the jetway. Quick look outside. DB Cooper steps are up. And let's fire up number 1. Or I'm sorry, number 3. How about I get it right? We'll go with the other one. Number 2, the middle. Okay. Start valves open. You all are going, where's your pushback tug? This 727, folks. We need no pushback tug. There's 20%, and there comes the fuel. Okay, we've got a good spool up here. Exhaust is coming up, and 1 is coming up. Fuel flow is rising as well. Oil pressure light just went out. And as soon as we stabilize, we'll kick over number 1. Honestly, number 1 this time. All right, good stable, and guard up. Light on. Your start valve lights are right here on the flight engineer's side. And now we're watching this one. As soon as we cross 20, which is about where the cursor is, we can then apply fuel. Up to idle. And there they go. Or there it goes. Okay, exhaust gas is starting to stabilize down. N1 is coming up. And around the backstretch comes N2. N2 is leading by a nose. Oh, sorry. Wrong flight. Okay, we're stable. Last engine. Dang it, forgot him again. There's 20. Get back over here, finish my job up. I'm not making them look that good today, guys. And gals, if you're out there. Okay. Yeah, I forgot something about that thing called fuel valves being turned on. I don't know. I guess it helps, you know. Okay, everything's stabilized. Let's do an after start check here. We'll just do it from the mind. Obviously, we need to get the engines on the main electrical bus. And they are. Again, move your essential powers. Any one of the 3 running you can use. Let's go to 3. I don't think I use that one a lot. Okay. Galley power's coming back on. I do them one at a time. I turn a pack back on. Get it to stabilize here. I don't know if I have to or not. I just do it. Let me push some heat over there. Make sure that thing rises. There we go. Don't want to break it before we get going here, folks. Okay, we're going to be going, like I said, 33,000. We set 1,000 above. And Houston is 96. We'll keep it at 100. So that's, yeah, we are 100. Had to make sure. All right. Last thing I want to do, come over here, turn this off. One of my moderators is, we a couple days ago flew out of Los Angeles to get here, and it's a mess. A lot of TFRs in place. Who knows why? Maybe Biden's making an appearance. I don't know. But anyway, by the way, Hawker, it was that way when we departed. So it hasn't changed much. But hey, I'm into FlyJSim. It don't matter. All right, folks, so we are fired up. Let's do that after, well, let's see what this one says before takeoff. All right. All right, so before push, let's check our zero fuel weight. And it's good, 123,430. That's what we know. Fuel, good. Gross weight, good. Okay, so we're going to depart flaps 20. And our card says 124, 124, 136. Looks good to me. Now, this feature right here that says set bugs does just that for you. Pretty cool, huh? 136, yeah, that's a good place for it. Wow, I guess pretty good. And then over here on the card is your flap schedule. By 200, we should be flaps up. Again, folks, it's not a long flight. The other thing we did not do over here is start up hydraulics A. We'll get that going. We'll keep the flight ground switch in ground to the runway. Hopefully we'll remember. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the cargo heat. Okay. Up top here, let's get the probe heats on. Basically, I'm getting the plane ready to taxi, because once we power back, that's what we're going to just go right into. All right, so here we go. Now, real quick, let's take a look at the departure out of here. To do that, I'm going to put the charts up here. And they'll pretty much stay up there for most of the flight, because I'm going to transition it to where you can see where we are. All right, so as you can see, it's kind of hard to see up there, I do realize. We're going to be flying out what is known as the Eichlin to Alpha departure. Now, there is a whole bunch of departures here. Mainly, look at it this way, it's that last fix. So these are the names to the different SIDs out of here, standard instrument departures. There's ours. We got to be below 29,000 at that point. There we go. That way we make sure we don't go through it. Shouldn't. Never know. Okay, real quick. There isn't a lot to it. There is no initial climb number, if you will, other than get above 9,000 feet by here. Stay below 14 by here, which shouldn't be a problem. That's why I'm not worried about it. Then above 16 and so forth up the way. Course 55, which is, by the way, runway heading. MX 800, continue all waypoints and altitudes through our departure. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff. Now, one other thing I can do with this. I'm not going to do it now because I can do this. Let's do a quick taxi brief. And by the way, as soon as I said that, it dawned on me I hadn't welcomed back to the YouTube world Captain Mac. I don't know how many of you out there watched his videos. I'll be honest with you folks, he is one of the instrumental guys I watched that helped push me over watching him to do this. So if you don't like it, blame him. No, just kidding. But welcome back. It's been a long time since we've seen a video release from him. And hope all was well in that time frame, sir. But welcome back. Enjoyed watching the video at work last night, and look forward to many more. I do fly for the airline he started with, and we'll be doing a flight here tomorrow, matter of fact, on that airline. So be watching for that, folks. We'll be in the Airbus tomorrow. Sorry, Hawker. Yes, I cussed at you. Another Airbus. Hang on a second, folks. Oh, I hope I got that out of the throat. Man. All right, so basically we're just going to come out of stance 62, I think it says behind us. Probably just come up to Bravo 3 and take off. Now, we could shoot off here to A1. We'll see as we're taxiing how things go. Folks, there is no traffic here, so I'm not really overly concerned. But you never know. One last thing before the power back. Put that up here in the top. All right. As we are on Poscon. It's an alternate ATC system. Touts itself to be better than VATSIM. I haven't seen it yet. It could be. I have a lot of problems off and on with it getting connected, staying connected, and actually getting the flight plan and all to activate. All of that aside, it isn't bad. The good thing is new people trying to learn to get online and fly. Now, I will always say, if you're doing that, you want to do it on VATSIM, get on VATSIM, get on where there's a controller and it's not busy. And just work with them, and you'll build up your confidence, your skills real quick. Otherwise, use Poscon to get on. Start understanding some of the phraseology, because you'll hear them every now and then, and get used to it. It's really not different than offline flying, but Poscon just has a couple little quirks to it. You have to launch a launcher first, and then launch the FlyJSim from within it, and then actually come up here to plugins, go to Poscon. By the way, this is X-Plane. Don't know Microsoft 2020 or versions back, and log in, and then go to the web UI to get yourselves rolling. So overall, you need help. Got a great contact that when I go up against a stone wall with it, after the flight I go and say, what did I do wrong? And by the way, one of our followers, Hannah, I never get this last name right, Rujin, who just followed us, is one that helped me out a lot. And hopefully everything works this time. It didn't work last time, although miracles happened. The flight plan activated in flight, and just Hannah. Okay. It activated, and it counted. So, like I say, I'm still learning the kinks out of it. It's been over a year since I used it prior to this, and I probably had troubles back then too, is why I left it back to VATSIM. So, but anyway, let's get going, folks. I've sat on the ground too long. We burned a lot of fuel, and it's just a whole heck of a lot more fun flying. So, let me do one thing here before I really screw up and not get credit for the flight. Forgot to fire up my Acres program. All right, so we got our flight planned, and Just cracks me up. 108 people somehow SimBrief got. I wonder if SimBrief is in Philadelphia. Anyway, no. Guy I work with's from Philadelphia, and I always love giving that city so much grief. It probably deserves every ounce. Anyway. Alright, so there you are, folks. The lovely Whisper Jet service. We're going into reverse thrust. Brakes off. Power and back. You would find this technique, folks, on 727s and DC9s and 737-200s. There it goes. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of power. The big thing in doing this maneuver, don't go too fast. Notice there's going to be a building behind us, so you want to be able to get it stopped. Okay, once we're cleared, you would have somebody in the front basically rolling his hands in this. That's wrong way. The hand signal for power back. Let's go idle. Come out of reverse. Ease up and push in some power. Do not use your brakes, folks. The last thing you want to do is have that airplane come up on its tail and back down. It is a bad day then. Alright, so, real quick. Anti-ice, pitot heat, flight instruments set, flight controls, do a quick check. Okay. Now I'm going to do a more critical one. Left, right. Now, the gauge right here, folks. Let me make sure. This gauge right here is a great gauge, except it's missing one piece. There's no aileron on it. So you can't do your left and right check on it. You can go elevator and rudder, but you can't check your aileron there. One of my few gripes about this plane. It is really nothing big. The other thing, in case you're curious, it probably is forbidden now, but when the 727s were here, I used to watch them do it all the time at Mid-America. At Lambert, where I used to really watch a lot of flights, TWA, Ozark, all the 727s and DC-9s powered back. 737-200s powered back. MD-80s powered back. And then I think over time it did become forbidden, and then they pushed back. There was no room in those gates to put a tug in front of them. So that's why they did it. Usually that was the case. Because if you go to Lambert ever, the D gates, which most of the jetways are gone, there was hardly any room in front of that nose to the building to put a tug in there. So today's tugs, they might, because they come in under the wheel and lift it up. They might have been able to do that. They just weren't around really back then. But anyway, if you notice when you do your rudder that both needles don't move, check your hydraulics. You got one off. All right, speaking of hydraulics, let's set our trim and flaps to 20. Okay, state trim set, speed brakes down, flap set, let's go back over here. Galley power's on, packs are on, and no lights on the electrical. Fuel heats down below, off right here. APU's off, hydraulics set. We'll keep the flight switch off until we get to the runway. Let's get to the runway, shall we? Don't think Poscon's going to be happy with a late departure. I'll blame it on them not getting me a clearance. No, that clearance didn't give me a clearance. All right. I'm just kind of looking out here. Go ahead and get the taxi lights on. Oh, you gotta love these ground crews. Ah, heck with you planes. You're in my way. Get out of my way. Oh, wait, there's no drivers. Oh, there was a Stephen King movie where ghostly vehicles would start up. I can't even remember the actors. It kind of reminds me of that on here. No drivers. And you'll find I'm not a big Stephen King fan. That just cracked me up, that seeing that. Okay, we're out to Lima. This is not how I featured this when I looked at it on the taxi map. Alright, that's okay. Hang on a second, folks. All right, folks, we're back with you. Something came in on my phone. I just wanted to see if the wife was aware. And all right, final checks. Before takeoff. Oh, they're over here. Okay, departure plan. We know it. Oil cooler. We're coming over here, down. Fuel heat off, and the auto pack. Fuel heat's off. The auto pack is up here. Go to normal. Start switches, anti-ice packs, bleeds, APU. Okay, start switches, we can do that. Guard, guard, guard. Anti-ice. You know what? We're going to go ahead and run with some. There is weather in the area. Now, you all are thinking, Captain Mike, hang on, timeout, Captain. Temperatures are in like the positive 10 million here in Mexico City. Why in the world would you have anti-ice on? Because it helps if there's any kind of hail to deposit that before the fan blades. All right, and that would be a bad day if you start losing fan blades on the engines. APU flaps are set, start levers idle. Mexico City traffic, Clipper 3 departing runway 5 right, Icon 2 Alpha. Power up for the runway, strobes. Okay, we are ready to go. Showing currently an hour and 46 minutes to Space City. Now, when Pan Am flew, most likely the terminal over here, which is now Terminal 1, would have been used. Don't quote me on that. I'm just thinking they've been gone 30, 40 years. Good chance. I know folks are going, they've been gone that long? Yeah, before some and many that are on Twitch were born. Okay. On the runway, straighten her out. Let's get back up here. All looking good. Flap screen. Lights. Make sure we're on TARA. We are. Even though I don't have a TCAS system, here we go. Once everything stabilizes, we'll punch it. Takeoff power set, about 97% N1. Down the runway we go. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Go ahead and turn that up to heading. Okay, airspeed's alive. Continue.
E1, rotate.
Okay, let's get the gear up with positive rate. Really love that they say that's the trim to be at, yet I am trimming the heck out of this thing to get it to climb. I think we just ran out. Okay, let's set 240. Hang on, I'm gonna get us on the autopilot.
Don't think. Don't think. Don't think. Don't think. Don't.
Yeah, I did that. Hang on, we got to get this thing into a climb. I love when I run out of trim, folks. Hopefully we can still just watch. All right, let's get this thing accelerating so we can get the flaps up. And this plane was around, by the way, Hannah, when RNAV was just in its infancy. INS and all, yes, it was big with, but not RNAV. All right, flaps up to 1, or did I just get them all the way up? I think I just got them all the way up. Climb power. All right, as mentioned, let's put this on that and superimpose. Flaps are up, gears. Okay, we check packs. I didn't turn them off. Okay, that'll be no biggie. We're good, we're good. And let's go into flight since I forgot. 240 is coming up. We're already, folks, through 10,000. You don't see that up there. What I was meaning to say, Mexico City is at 7,300 feet MSL, so it's a high altitude airport to start with. So things that you're used to having time to get used to before you get there, folks, well, you just don't get it here. All right, so our next big feat is Eichland 29,000. Get close to 280 and then I'll let it climb normal pace. After takeoff check, might as well give it a shot. What the heck? Seatbelts, anti-ice, gears up, off, flaps up, 0, auto pack, back to normal, flight. And we'll go ahead and close. I like to close one notch. Get back here for speed. And then crank up a little bit. We got a little fast. Alright, so now we're climbing up. Now, there's also no auto throttle on this plane. I know it kind of looks like there is one, but when I engage IAS climb, it's going to maintain the pitch of the plane to match the speed, not the engines. Matter of fact, we need to go steeper in this climb. Trying not to have to pull power back. I think I will have to. Okay, hydraulic pressure's checked. Again, we're going for 280, which is why we're a little fast. Flight level 290. We hope to be at Mach 0.78 on here. We'll see. She is adjusting nicely. Let's get 280, looks like about right there, guesstimate. And I'm going to set 92%. And yeah, it is, folks, a guesstimate game. That's how old flying was. 9, let's look. All looks good. All of our... Close them up to about half. And now, if I kept it here, folks, for the duration of the climb, you'll watch the VSI change. Now, once we level off at 29, if we do it before Eichland, then I'll have to adjust speed to maintain. Once we cross Eichland, we can head on up to 33. So as you can see, we're working our way through MX 804, headed to 805. Sorry folks, no nav displays on this. You're old school here, big time. You're looking at a plane conceived and built in the 60s, flown all the way up to into the early 2000s. Back when planes were actually built to last. I hearken you to the B-52. 4 generations of pilots now in it. Okay, 21,000, so let's set 2992. All right, this right here, folks, you may be familiar. This light, if you fly the Flight Factor 767 or similar, you're going to sometimes see altitude disagree. That's in essence what that light is. It's just a very small word that says altitude. So that just means they don't match. Pretty simple. All we got to do is come over here, dial it down to 2992. Transition level, standard. See, the light went out. Don't forget the standby one right here. Never know. They're mechanical, folks. These can break. Alright, so this is the FlyJSim 727. That's a very good model. There are some things that, yes, we can quibble about, like no interior. But overall, folks, it's a really good plane. Now, are you going to be flying a plane similar to FlyJSim 727-200? No. Yes, but overall, no. That plane is, they took the time to meticulously make everything as it should. And allowed for some cheats in there to help you out, because it's one man, 3 crew, in a real world, 3 crew members. So, it's a phenomenal plane. This too is a good plane, but it's not fully to that level. Okay. Fearless, I put it on par with anything PMDG could put out there for Microsoft. So, just putting it out there, folks. Same with the Zebo 737. But we're talking old school. This plane is good for what it does. The only big, huge complaint is there's nothing behind the door. So if you were to go back, you're not going to see anything. We'll show it on the ground in Houston. You even look up the DB Cooper door, I call it. There's nothing. So I think they fell flat there. But it's a good plane overall. And if you'd like to check it out yourself, here's a link for you to go over there. The other quirks to it, and I'm not sure why a developer makes an airplane, then makes an update, and doesn't make the next installers after that have the update. Haven't figured that out yet, but they do. Make sure you update it using the Skunkcraft updater. Also, if you fly it and find it crashing to desktop, folks, you're looking at one that happened a lot. Remove the TCAS folder from the aircraft folder. All 3 of them, because you get the 100, the 200, and the freighter. Remove it from all of them. And folks, I did that about a Hawker might be more on when I did it. Maybe around a month ago. I haven't had a crash to desktop since. Knock on wood. But a great plane, folks. All right, so let's see. Where are we? We are about to come over Eichland. And guess what? We're going to take the numbers up to 33. And there's Eichland, and on we go. Let's go ahead and center. There you go, folks. We are out of Mexico City airspace on our way to Space City, Houston, Texas. Now, we are closing in on 29,000. Remember, at or around that number will be at 0.78. That's when we'll switch the climb from IAS mode to Mach indicated mode. And if you noticed, our VSI has dropped off too to maintain this. Making sure our speeds are holding like they should. Okay. And then back here, close up our, go ahead and just close them. Oh, not that one. That one. Oh, why do we have a trip? Okay, hang on, both of them. Cool, gotta love it. All right, let's see how our temperatures do this time. Okay, let's see here what's going on. PSI seems awful high. All right. While we're here, we are on that. We're on flight. We're good. APU auto pack trip good. Cooler doors, everything's set. Okay. And this, folks, I have a hard time with. I don't know this aircraft like I do 737s, 747s, Airbuses, that I would know exactly what to do here. I am just kind of seat of the pants flying that. And I see I did forget something else. Okay. Up here, there should be a yellow altitude select. I forgot to click that down here. There we go. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure, there, that it'll engage. While we're at it, let's get to work on the fuel. Let the center tank, see how these are right now running at about 2,500 gallons, or 2,500 pounds. We need to burn from here big time. So we're letting it do all the work. We'll come back and check. If we have to, we'll turn the boost pumps off. Some flights, that flight engineer is just hopping back there trying to keep things afloat. Other times, it's nice and easy. For me, It's always trying to keep it afloat. Speaking of which, let's go Mach. And the nice thing is that's going to put us right at 0.8. We'll just have to adjust the throttle when we hit 33. So there you go, folks. We're on the way. We got about an hour to go. Enjoy. All right, folks, we are on the way. Let me, well, I can't really, well, I guess I could. Hang on, let me work on that. Because I want to be able to do a few things. I got to remember what it was. I didn't write it down. That's my problem. All right, so I think that'll work for now. Let's try it out. All right, folks, there's the Poscon map. Yeah, a lot of traffic, I know. 7 pilots, 1 controller. Wanted to skip that. All right, so not too bad. So that way you can kind of see where we are on the map. We are this guy right here, Clipper 3, coming out of Mexico City, headed for Space City. Some would say Space Coast, but no, really the Space Coast is over here. Not over here, although you got Space City, Stennis, all of that right here, but mostly here. Also, Redstone was a big place. That's where the Mercuries were put together. And let's back some power down, folks. All right, why are we going 1,000 feet over, or 100 feet over? Interesting. Okay, we're just slowing down, folks. All right, we're 150 miles almost out of Mexico City. Let's see. Oh, let me. Now I have to be careful. Hang on a second. Get rid of that for a moment. $16.6. Okay, and then 14.3, which I think we're going to be way out of range for. Really? Okay, it shocked me. I think we're in range. 16.6. Oh, never mind. I got it. Understood. Okay, I can fix that, folks. I really do like that feature. Oh, wait a minute. There. Where I can zoom in with the mouse. I really do, but it gets to be painful. All right, where is 14.3? I'll never find it this way. Anyway, let's see if 13.3 comes in. All right. Still a little slow. Let's push it up. And this is basically finding that sweet spot. Not really sure why we're at 33,100. All right, let me take a chance here. Go through the chat. Sure I didn't miss out on anything. Okay, let's check our fuel. Okay, it looks like the wing tanks are not going down, but the center tank is. That was our goal, folks. All right, so we're just, let's just do a flyby, shall we? I love just sitting in the contrail. Of course, usually my luck, it'll just go bloop, disappear. Always love that. And it, folks, our winds today are minuscule. They're north, out of the northwest at about like 8 knots. So if you just go, whew, there you go. Although you got to sustain it for an hour and a half, that could get kind of rough, unless you know how to circular breathe. All right, folks, we are en route, headed for Space City, Houston, Texas. Houston, we have a problem. Stars Align is the song in the background, folks, from Drummer Boy. And I say it that way because it's not ER, it's UR. Yeah, really like this song. Love that bass line. Love the bass line. All right. There you go, folks. That way you have an idea where we're at, where we're headed. A little better than what Sim Toolkit, although Sim Toolkit does a pretty good job of displaying this. Not the greatest, and of course this is right from the animal itself. Volanta, I don't even think they even show up on it. I'm looking right now for Poscon. Nope. So either there needs to be an update or something. It's funny though, you can pre-file. Uh-oh. Who's chasing us down? Oh, someone came out of MMMX on FlyJSim. Headed for Dallas, Fort Worth. In the big ol' 747-800. Oh, correction. Not 800, -8. Uh-oh. Something ain't looking right. Hang on. Maybe it's just the way Volanta is showing us. Well, Sim Toolkit's doing a real good job as we skirt around some storms. I don't know if that's showing up there or not. Let's kind of... Yeah, you can kind of see it now. Skirting on the leeward side there. I believe that's the lee. Maybe the windward. But anyway, there you go, folks. So, Space City in 57 minutes. Folks, enjoy. We'll be sitting here. I'd love to chat with you in the chat. Also, if you're up to it and would like to join us over on Discord, we're always continue to build the community there. Also, I am remiss. Hang on a second. Screenshot time. Oh, well, that'll do. I was hoping for a better shot than that. I was hoping it turned more, but bank more is more the word I was looking for. But anyway, let me get back. Exclamation mark ticket underscore exclamation mark the word ticket space and the number 1 will get you entered in a raffle we're doing. I'm going to raffle away a subscription to Flying with Mike on or around July 11th. That is the 1-year anniversary of Flying with Mike becoming an affiliate with Twitch. And I want to say thank you to all of my followers. We are now up to, why is my number 0? What? Say what? What happened? Oh, hang on a second. Why is OBS doing that to me? Oh, there it goes. Up to 189. We're just about to crack 190. Headed maybe for 200 by then. But I want to thank you all for coming on board. Oops. And supporting us. It's just, I look back and it is so humbling. Because when I first started back in October, I think it was September, October timeframe 2020, I never thought this many people would be interested in what I had to say, what I showed on the screen. Fast forward a year and a half, my mind is just blown. Might even say mic drop. It's just mind-boggling. And this is how I want to say thank you. I'm also planning to have a group fly-in. Haven't decided yet. Poscon FlyJSim. Reason being, FlyJSim is so sometimes intimidating to brand new flight simmers. I'll be honest, it's even intimidating to me with over 10,000 hours or better on the network. They still intimidate the crap out of me sometimes. So folks, you're not alone. So we could do it in a nice environment where we could all fly from, say, a nice short hop, say Kansas City to St. Louis, Minneapolis to Duluth, Cincinnati to, I don't know, Columbus. That's a real short flight. Cincinnati to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh to Philadelphia. We could do something like that, get to a point, and then just shoot approaches. We could do visual only, stay in the pattern, touch and goes, get used to it. Go out, fly some of these published approaches, folks. The RNAVs, the RNIPs, the ILSs, some of the peculiar visual approaches. Take, for instance, Reagan's famous Rivers visual. That's a fun one to fly, by the way, folks. I will warn you. And then either bed down for the night or head back the 100 to 200 to 300 miles back. That's as far as I want it to be. It's a short hop. That way you get in, you can get used to climb, go through all the phases real quick, and then bring it down. We can fly airliners, we can fly GA, airplane, your choice. But again, it all starts with the exclamation point word ticket, space, the number 1, and you'll be entered for that subscription to Flying with Mike. Now, caveat, if you already are subscribed, I'll pay for a subscription for you, whichever streamer you want. I'll get in there, gift it to you, and you'll be able to enjoy ad-free viewing there. So, feel free. I've got a running tally and you can do this each and every stream we're up. And I'll, for every name I write down, I'll add a number to it, put it all in the machine, and let it spit it out. Okay, granted, it's going to be a hat that I wiggle, and the CEO is going to pull the name out. Of course, it's not on camera, so you won't know. For all I know, it could be the dog, and I can say the dog ate it. But no, he doesn't like paper. Doesn't like a lot of things other than his dog food. Weird dog. But anyway, all kidding aside, folks, really thank you so much for your support. Means the world, folks. All right, we're working up the coast here. Let's kind of take a look at the birds, shall we? Oh, helps to do that. Okay, center tank is coming down just like we wanted. Let's make sure no warnings up here. Adjusting my throttle to 0.80. We're good to go, folks. Alrighty. Now, one thing I was getting into that's neat about this plane and the 747-200. Okay, here you got to switch it from nav to GPS. Okay, no big deal. But, sorry about that, folks. It frees up this one to work. So I can actually shoot cross fixes to see if we're tracking correctly. Because, folks, we're at 35,000 or 33,000. And who knows? Okay, so we're looking at 284 miles. And that looks like about right. That's our VOR tuned in. While we're up here, you know what? I am remiss again. Let's get that radar turned on. See if it'll pick up anything. All right, when we get over MAM here in about, well, actually, we're going to start it now. We're going to go ahead and start talking arrival, what the star looks like, and then what our instrument approach is going to be like if we shoot one. Possibility. Let me pull up the map here, push it down a little. Well, weather has kind of subsided in the Houston area. Cool. So we will press on. And right now it is hurricane season over here, and the Gulf is quiet. Usually is this time of the year. And well, actually no, this is when some of the activity does come in. The Atlantic will begin to heat up a little later, July, August time frame into more September. For now, it's kind of the Eastern Caribbean up into the Gulf. It's kind of like tornado season, if you're familiar with the U.S. Starts, well, it's reversed actually. It starts east, moves west, then moves right on top of St. Louis. Where I live. So and then it moves up to Minneapolis. I don't know, but you know, it's kind of the same way. It starts kind of here in the Western Caribbean and works lower Mexico, working up eastern halves of Central America. The Pacific gets going quicker, but some of those hook into the Gulf and become storms too. So, but really, that's where the eyes are right now. It'll start shifting more and more east as we get closer to August. And of course, not to say one could pop right now out over the eastern Atlantic and trek its way all the way across. Good luck making it all the way across, but it could happen. All right, so let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this away, just in case, and then under charts, and you'll be able to watch this up here as well. Let's go to the Duck DU UK3 arrival. Okay, come out of it a little. Okay, so we're gonna come over. I'm gonna say it again, folks, the way I always love to say it. Corpus Christi. It's Corpus Christi, but I just love it. And I'm sorry, parents, if I've given your kids a bad habit. But anyway, all right, let's first, okay, as we look at the chart up here, we enter it at Corpus Christi, track up to Chevron, and then over to the, I think that's Humble VOR. Okay. Now, real quick about this chart, it is a standard arrival chart. Now, and the cool thing about this is it's not an RNAV. Now you're saying, well, Captain, there's a whole bunch of fixes, but they all work off of VORs. So when I come over Corpus Christi, we just go 015, or it doesn't say the distance, to Chevron, intercept the radial 236 off Humble, track to Humble, just at this point, track 085 and follow vectors. So it's really a simple approach in theoretical terms. So altitudes that you see on here, if any, inches of mercury, not millibars. Transition level, like everything in the United States, 18,000. Now, DME, IRU, or GPS equipped aircraft and turboprop must file. So if you're going to fly an RNAV, you got to use H-Town or TGIS. San Antonio transition, 24,000 and above only. I don't get that, but we're not coming in that way. Okay, so we need to get 15.5 in here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and dial it in here. I'll explain why I do that here in a second. Okay, and then we're going to pop the 16. Well, let's do this real quick. Okay, so we're still tracking into bear with me a second here, folks. Metamoris, MAM. So we got 20 miles to go. We're gonna probably need to start coming down pretty quick because we need to be at G-Man. Got to be careful with that G-Man. Landing east at 13,000, landing west at 14,000. All right, latest weather at Corpus Christi, or not Corpus Christi, good old Houston, Texas. I'm going to go ahead and dial that in here. IAH. Okay. All right, let's put that in the chat. Okay, so we're looking at a variable wind, 10 miles of visibility. Folks, this is VFR weather. Scattered 4,500 feet, 33 degrees Celsius, and altimeter will be 3,000 when we get below 18. All right, so did it really just do what I think it did? It sure, no it didn't. Okay. I've done this before, folks, where I put the METAR in and because it just isn't doing it, and then all of a sudden, poof, it does it again. So, wasn't the case this time. All right, we're coming over MAM. So, back down to the radios. We get those all geared up, ready to go. So again, it's the 015. Now, we got to get to the Corpus Christi. We got to go over Brownsville, then up to Corpus Christi, and then into this. So we got a little bit of wiggle room. Not a whole bunch. Come up here. We got Graz, Brownsville, then Corpus Christi. Okay, gives you an idea. So what I'm going to do now, come back down here. Since we know that's Corpus Christi, let's put in Brownsville. $16.3. Now, I mentioned this. Why am I doing it on both sides? That takes away so many radios from you. This is a weird airplane, folks. Just going to tell you right now. Nav 1, Nav 2. Keep that in mind. Nav 1, Nav 2. Easiest way to show this to you, folks. Okay. Now, granted, this is all currently running off whatever the GPS is saying. Okay. Carefully read that. Yeah, it says it, folks. DME2. This is reading off of here, folks. Kind of screwy. It's gonna track. Okay, so if I wasn't in GPS, I was on nav. It's gonna track nav 1, but the DME displayed here is nav 2. Conversely, let's head over to the first officer. What? DME1? See where it gets very confusing. We're only 6 miles, by the way, off of Brownsville. Starting to turn, it looks like. And I think it's 355 to Corpus Christi. 355. So we'll go ahead, see what happens. 355. Okay, so now that's off Brownsville. Okay, now we're tracking towards Corpus Christi, still using the DME off here. It's so confusing. So if you flip them both over, folks, at least when you look at things, it'll look right. All right, here we go. Now, I'm gonna do this, I think. Hang on a second, let me alert my moderator, who's probably not able to because he's at work. Problem is when they're at, when you're at work, I know you can't necessarily tune in. I can only because I'm there 24 hours, but not necessarily during the day can I do that. So I get it. Not a big deal, folks, but yes, we are going to come off the GPS. So, first thing I want to do, boom. We're on that, and we are now on nav. And make sure I got right frequencies because things are not showing correctly. 15.5. .55. Let's go back to Brownsville. All right, well, we may go back onto GPS. Not liking it when it does this. Okay, there is another solution here. We'll set this back. Let's make an adjustment over. We're in tight enough where it could be pretty quick. Probably would be better to go to Corpus Christi now. Okay, now the big number though that I want to pay attention to is top of descent, 155. Let's look at that real quick. G-Man, we're 280.14. $135 now. And what we're doing is a simple get over to heading 355, track 2, Corpus Christi. And then we'll come off as per the star. And we can do the same thing, folks. Put that up there like that, center of the map, and as we draw in, you'll see it. That is really weird that the information isn't. Okay, so as we get ready for descent, we'll get our minimum set up here, our target, our VREF, auto brakes, and cooling doors. Okay, so let's get back into it. So duck, 3 again, crispy, to chevron, to humble. Just before humble at big, we'll make our turn to 085, track outbound. Now, where the rubber hits the road is the ILS approach. Now, we are programmed for the, hang on, I'll just zoom it in. GAR arrival, GAR transition, and just about on it. I'm keeping an eyeball on that, folks, to fly in. But let's get to the top. Here's all our frequencies. ATIS 124.05. I have not yet tried that in here. We'll see if that works. For me, it does not work in VATSIM. Okay, so we'll tune 109.7 for the localizer. Excuse me. Heading 267. When we come over Jepni, that's 7.5 miles, almost there by the way, folks. We'll be at 2,000 feet on glide path. And then we continue it out. Fully configured. And let's go into nav. Okay. From there, the decision altitude here is 295 feet or 200 AGL. So if you get a METAR and it says 300, double check with the ATC that you're allowed. If it's below, we do have options, folks. Cat 2, Cat 3. The minimums are way lower on that. Okay, then we continue. There's your airport elevation, 96, touchdown 95, so folks, there isn't much wiggle room, pretty straight and level. Missed approach, you all can read that. Again, inches of mercury, transition levels the same. Now the big thing is, if you're in the soup, folks, coming down the approach, say you pop out at 700, 800, 900 feet, don't necessarily expect the glide path that your PAPIs show, or VASI, depending on the airport, to match your ADI here. Okay, they can be way off, so transition to that visual. All right, so we've got some interesting markers here, folks. Okay, so we are going to go, like I said, from, well, let's look at it real quick. Big 085 out to intercept with GAR. We don't have to. We can turn in at McKay or Greg. I'm going to go out. That gives me plenty of time to get the plane set up for the landing. So we got an icon 3 here. That is mandatory 7,000 feet. Pretty simple, straightforward. And then up here at maximum speed. Keyword maximum here, folks. 210. So, and it tells you, again, these are, okay, if I'm looking at DOS, VOR, which is 116.9 on all 3 of these, you shoot those radials off of that, guess what? You come across, you're right on. So that tells you when you're in the soup, you're doing good. Sometimes it's chicken noodle soup, sometimes it's tomato soup. We try not to do the tomato soup. It kind of, mimics something else. Altitudes, van, 7,000. Kind of shocked it doesn't have that 3 on it here. But then McKay, also 7,000. Greg, 5,000. Kearns, 3,000. Jepney, remember that from up here, folks? That's our fix that we got to be at 2,000 feet on the glide path. And then down we go for the missed approach point. Okay, real quick, let's pull up the landing speed checks. Right now, we're set, we'll call it 130. So 140 when we look at this chart here. Okay, flaps 30. Okay, so 140. This tells us that if we do 743 feet a minute, folks, from Jepney to the missed approach point, which is 2 minutes, 29 seconds down the glide slope. Guess what? We're on a 3-degree glide path. Okay. That's what this chart's telling us. 2.5 minutes, we better be seeing a runway or approach lights. If not, let's go around and we go back up here and do this procedure. Okay, we got a full boat light, ALSIF 2. Pappies should be on the right. Some airports we found, they are not. Here's the missed approach again. Lastly, here's your decision altitude, 295. MSL, so as you look at this, pretty much right about here, just shy of the, in between the 300 and all. If you don't see the runway, folks, it's a go around. Unless you're flying with Mike, you never know what I'll do. No, legally it's a go around. RVR 18, sometimes you'll get information like 1800, drop the zeros, RVR 18, or a half mile on the METAR. Lose stuff like the touchdown zone, ALS is out, numbers go up. So there you have it, folks. We're coming over Corpus Christi, or as I like to again say, Corpus Crispy. So I am going to set 200 on the radar. It was 200, right? Sorry, folks. Yes. This is AGL, folks. This is MSL. So again, 295 would be on the altimeter. 200 radar altimeter. There we go. Okay, we are coming over Corpus Christi. We need to do this. And let's see how we're doing here. Remember, we're about 5-6 miles in the air, folks. So at about 5 to 6 here, we're now beginning to transition the VOR. So I like to go heading. Technically, we're supposed to be at 32,000, by the way. And set 1.5. There's the swing. Okay. And I'm going to set it right for 1.5. Okay, 40 miles out. Let's set our initial descent, which was 14,000 at 280. Be careful in the 747 if you're still set for altitude select. It does not trip off like it does here. You're going to start descending, so be careful. Okay. Just slightly come off the arrow. We're really close to the VOR, so I don't want to, because that thing could swing right back. Okay, we got 90 miles to Shepard. So when this is 90, we'll do it. Go on the swing back and Humble is 1660. Go ahead and dial that in, folks. Okay. I don't know why I get this all the time. Saying something's missing. I would love to know. It does this with Charleston and anything in the southeast that I get close to. I put some scenery in for Houston, folks, that's free. And I think I'm going to regret it. We'll see. We'll see if it makes it better. All right, I am going to go ahead. We're going to kick this thing down. So click altitude select. All right. Hang on, I messed that up. Sorry, folks. I should have just gone straight forward. Set up about a 2,000 foot a minute drop. We're going to hold up at that altitude. Don't make the mistake I did once, folks. Setting it to descend at a specific speed. Oh, that's not a good thing. Not in these. You can do it in the 737-8, the 7.6s, and all the rest, not these older planes. All right, we are descending. Why did I hold this up? Oh, I got it set for some reason. I thought I had it at 29, and I'm like, what am I doing? Okay, to the checklist. Okay, so we've got the minimums. They're set on our radar altimeter. Target speed 129. Approach 140. Auto brakes, we're going to go medium. So we'll set those right up here. Again, folks, flying the 727 from FlyJSim, when you're ready to set the transponder, it's on the upper panel, not where you would expect it down here. Okay. Auto brake set cooling doors. All right, so we're going to come down a little bit here. We're going to get the speed under control first. I want to go 280 at the max. Okay, nothing in front of us. Pretty decent day, folks, looks like, into Houston. As we work our way up here, let's go ahead and kick this over. All right, now let's set that radial up. It is heading of 5.6. Let's go ahead and just do it this way. So we'll come over here. There's 5.6. Obviously, we're doing this right now. Flip it over to 1660. There we go. And the bad thing is this thing sticks with the mock like it's glue. So you got to kind of, you can only use it for a little bit, and then it gets way out of whack. All right, let's go ahead. We're at 25,000 seatbelts. Never turned them off. We'll get the wing lights. Oh, they were never turned off. Okay, again with the cooling fans, cooling doors will come up to half. I think we're battling down pretty decently, and altitude set. I'm going to go ahead and speed brakes. And that's why, folks, in this plane, it's useless to do a IAS hold speed, because the marker doesn't stay for indicated. Okay, we're holding at 280. So again, welcome aboard, folks. If you by chance like the channel or come in here and you're new, we'd love for you to click follow. All it costs you will be an email saying, hey, Flying with Mike is flying from point A to point B using this. Normally it's right. Wild occasions, I forget. But still, you get an email knowing we're online. Also, anyone in here, folks, you don't have to be a follower, but if you put the exclamation mark, the word ticket, a space, and the number 1, uno, it'll enter you in the raffle July 11, on or about that stream. Will also be a group flight. I plan to raffle that away to a lucky flyer, and they'll get a subscription to the Flying with Mike on Me. If you already happen to subscribe, great. Enter the raffle. Love to have you. I've got 5 so far. Enter every stream we're on, folks. And we'll get your name in the hat, and we'll draw it out and award that. If, like I said, you are a subscriber, let me know which stream you'd like to be subscribed to, and I'll get it purchased for you. It's just my way to say thank you for supporting the stream this year and a half. 11th, by the way, July 11th, you may say, well, that's a weird date. Well, that's the day that I was notified I became an affiliate with Twitch here at Flying with Mike. So that's why we're celebrating that day. Because quite frankly, folks, I couldn't be an affiliate without you. I mean, you all are the reason we're here. So thank you so much. All right, here comes 18,000, going up to 3,000, 3,000. All right, and we're looking good. Oh, we should be kicking over. I think I've got control. What's our heading? 56? Yeah. Okay, and then bear with me here. I just need the numbers 1, 109.7. Okay, we're continuing on. 14,000's our mark we're looking for. At G-Man. We're going to reach that pretty quick. It'll be distance 18 and 15. That's E3. Okay, we just got the horn that we're coming up to 14,000. We'll begin final checks real quick. Okay, open these guys up all the way. All right, we're all there. 6, looking good on fuel. Okay, big, I'm gonna switch us back onto the engine tanks. Okay, so we are now tracking. I stand corrected, folks. It's 26, 28. All right, we're going to be careful here. All right, powering up. Speed brakes down. I hate it when it doesn't give me the mileages. Yeah. So 45 miles. Okay, so we got a little bit to go. Let's get some more power in. Okay. Let's bring her up on power. All right, folks, so again, the exclamation point, the word tickets, a space, and the number 1 will get you entered in the raffle. And we'll give it away on the 11th of July, the 1-year anniversary of becoming an affiliate. On or around that day, folks. I may work that day, so. I know it's kind of goofy, but is what it is. So, all right, a lot of clouds around here. Wow. I wonder if we can tune in the ATIS. Let's give it a shot. All right, so, oh. Publish CTAF on the chart, if none. 2295. Okay. Oop, I did not want to do that. Hang on. So I can quit doing that, folks. Publish. Do we have a CTAF? 26 left, 125. Do not, but we'll go 125.35. Let me try this one first. 05. Like I said, FlyJSim rarely works. Okay, setting up. 7 will come down to 9,000. I don't hear anything, folks. Do you? Okay, we'll set it right there. That ought to be a nice descent. Speed brakes. Are we holding on this? Okay, let's bank a little bit. Folks, by the way, I'm not flying VOR lock. I am using the heading select. All right, Biggs. I don't know what that is. Okay, there's 280. I want to be down. That's a good descent rate. Back that down just a little bit. Probably Biggs. I'll kill the music and we'll go into a somewhat sterile cockpit. Okay, speed brakes again. All right, so there's 250. The speed brakes off. All right, landing lights on. Okay, altitude select is on. All right, 10,000 feet, folks. And all right, so we're going to be leveling off here in a minute at 9,000 feet at Biggs. We'll pass headed towards our VOR. So I hope you all have enjoyed the stream so far. Houston is within, what, 5 minutes? We'll call it 10 minutes, folks, because we got to go out, turn around, come back. So almost to the ground. Let me know if you have any ideas for a second stream, or second flight. This is one of those kind of days where that may be a possibility, so. Okay, we're level at 9,100 feet. I don't get why it says 91, folks. Didn't get to do this much. I'm wondering if that might not be Houston in the foreground there. Or background, I guess that would be. We'll have to wait and see. We're getting very close to Biggs. Sucks that it doesn't give us the distance. Nope. Really does. Okay, just over 250, so let's get her back down again. Just slowing it down. Couple seconds here. All right, so here we go, folks. Slowing under 250, about ready to cross Biggs. And there, folks, we don't track anything on this one. I know that seems kind of weird. We just go on a 085 and do our best. Here we go. All right, so let's get set up for the instrument. Hey folks, and I will be right back with you. All right, folks, sorry about that. Working arrangements here with the wife. Sometimes she takes a business call and I need to take a break myself so that way she can take the call. All right, so we are now heading for the ILS. So we'll be right in here, folks. So what I'm going to do is just track until I can turn on it and turn in 7,000. So let's go ahead, descend to 7,000. Meanwhile, I do want to check 2998. Okay, 7,000. ahead and start slowing up. Altitudes, always click altitude select, folks, in this plane. We didn't once, and boy, did it screw up my approach. Get a little steeper right about there, I think will be a good set rate. Okay. All right, we're coming down. We'll be at 7,000 here real quick. Okay. Cloud layer, let's see. Houston's now reporting 180 at 7. Technically the 15s. We'll be fine with what we're doing. 10 miles scattered 5,500, 2998. So we're good. All right, and 250 currently. We're going to begin slowing because at Van we need to be at 210. So that'll also be about a 28-mile final.
Houston George Bush INTL Information Quebec. 1800 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable.
How about that, folks?
Visibility more than 10.
There you go. Just log me off.
500 scattered. Temperature 33, 2.21. Altimeter 3000. Arriving runways 27, 33 left, 26 right. Departing runways 33 right, 26 left. Advise on initial.
And for those out there that were tracking me, that's what it does. For no apparent reason, I get logged off. All right, well, I got caught up. Hello. Bear with me here, folks, as I, oh, that's why. It's like all of a sudden, NavGraph loses it, and then I lose it from the launcher, which is right down here and always there. All right, let's get some power back in as I dealt with that. Okay, we still got a little ways to go. No, it happens, Hannah, sometimes on takeoff, sometimes here. It's the weirdest thing it does. So I don't know where the problem is. Now, I don't even know if my flight now will count on Poscon. It'll count for Guardian. So it must be then my network. I don't know what it does, but my wife doesn't lose connection on her end, so I don't get. So, like I said, worst case scenario, we'll stick with FlyJSim, but sometimes it is nice to be able to just get away from the hecticness, especially into Los Angeles. They can sometimes really irritate a pilot in a heartbeat. So yeah, that's what it does. Yeah, I've already reconnected, I believe. Yep, still showing. Still has my arrival point. Okay, there's 210. Keep myself here. But to Mexico, it disconnected on takeoff. If you look at that flight, I don't know if you can go into other people's flights or not, come to think of it. Um, it's just weird. We'll just go with that. Okay, so interesting though. Did you notice one thing, folks? The ATIS came on when it came off. That's what happens on FatSim unless FatSim controllers have an ATIS out there. All right, so let's flip flop this to the correct 1097, preparing for our turn. Does it give a heading? 287, okay. Kind of zoomed in for y'all here. Okay. Final checks for approach, altimeters, packs, start switches needed, and before landing, okay. Let's go ahead, make a turn. Okay, what's going on here? Why have we got the spinning? Okay, making the turn, power back, 7,000. Well, if it is a network issue, there ain't going to be a lot I can do about it, so. Oh, looks like my wife did get hit with one, so maybe we had a network hiccup. Okay. Okay, we got the glide slope. I don't think we have a localizer yet. Van is 7,000, so that's good. Okay. I did get it on the right frequency, 1097, yes. Okay, let's go ahead and kick it. Back. Okay, so from Van to McKay. Okay. Here we go. Not really sure why the localizer's not coming up. There it goes. Okay, it's really going bonkers. Let's get some flaps in. Okay, we need to start down. If I can get a visual, I'll just go that way because this thing is really... I think I got the runways, so... Had the runways. Who put these clouds in the way? Okay, localizer going to be firming up here in a minute. Make sure we got all the lights on, auto brakes on. Flaps are at 15. Hey, look at that. Amazing. We pop out and there's a runway. Right there. Okay. Right, here we go, folks. Kerns, we're going to be way above, so we're taking over. Down on glide path. All right, so we're doing good now. Crisco is being applied to the wheels as we speak, hopefully. There we go, folks. Kern. Gear down. Okay, on glide path. Alright folks, I just happened to see it come across 2 minutes to the end of the runway. We'll see. Okay, on glide path on. Stable so far. Missed approach altitude set. Geared down. Flaps 30. Nope, flaps 25, sorry. Now they're 30. There's the edge of the runway. We've got her inside stable coming in. Houston traffic, Clipper 3, approximately 4-mile final, runway 26 left. Fully established, cleared to land. Okay, switching to the Pappies. Although they're actually pretty close, folks, if you look at them. Like, things aren't overly too bad.
300. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Yeah, 284 is not bad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come on, slow up there's 80. Come on out of reverse. I'm going to try for it, folks. We didn't make 60, so we won't. Had I not floated, I'd have made that taxiway. Alright, let's see how this looks different. I did too. I was really shocked I got that nose up in time. I didn't catch my taxiway. Let's see. Alright, we're flying for Pan Am. Actually, any United gate will do. Since they did get part of the Pan Am deal when they broke them up. Them and Delta. Alright, landing lights off. Strobers off, wing lights off. Apu. 2, 3. I think I'm going to go right in here. One of these days I am going to figure out where Pan Am used to park. And just as soon as I do, I'll be flying Northwest flights and I'll be doing the same thing, trying to figure out where they used to go. This looks good enough right in front of us. A12. Okay, probably made for a CRJ. Oh well. All right, well, oh, we got a guy in front of us. Okay. Mile brakes off. Let's see what he says. Not used to having these guys in front of me. Don't be worthless up there, Duke. You're worthless. Brakes on. All right, we are here, folks. Let's go through the shutdown real quick. All right, after landing, page 2. Okay, they're just parking. Okay, so here we'll go this route. Doink, doink, doink. Oh, missed after landing. Sorry. Window heat. Nice thing is it travels nicely. Window heat's going off. Anti-ice off. Pitot heat off. See where the flaps ended up at. Up. Okay, good. Spoilers are down. And the radar's on. That was not good. Auto brake off. Okay, radar and transponder. Okay. Galley power off. And you get to go back to ground. We get to put you on the bus. Come back, don't forget, folks. Okay, on APU. All right, let's shut this thing down, shall we? All right. Okay, beacon stays on. Exterior lights, taxi lights off. Two, 1, 3. Okay, over to the hydraulics. It's funny, it says B off, leave A on, packs open, we're good. All right, folks, we're in the gate here. All right, so let's do a couple things here so I don't get in trouble this time around. Let's see how we did with airline. File. Really wish we didn't get airline errors all the time. Oh, it's pending again. What for? All right, let me, before I forget, get that PM off. All right, that way I don't forget. All right, so we got that, and finally, Let's look at this from the perspective of Sim Toolkit. Folks, if you have not bought this, you don't have to buy it. But it's probably one of the best utilities you should have on the market. It's free. And that's another reason. It's free. You don't get that much in FlyJSim anymore. It's free. So I highly recommend it, folks. Brings to you a ton of stuff. From flight planning to flight scheduling. If you want to fly real world flights that are out there, you can go there. I do this a lot when I do my South American flyings. I look at where I'm at and what do the airplanes normally do. Same with some of the stuff we've done in Africa. So I'll go here and I use this. Another great tool for up and coming folks that have just learned, landing reports. It'll tell you real quick here what you did, but if you click on that flight, it'll actually graphically show it to you, which you can actually learn a lot because, okay, in this instance, here's the end of the runway. Here's where we aim for. That's the Pappies are somewhere right in this ballpark here. So we're aiming for here, but the landing zone stretches from here back to the threshold. So we're well within the landing zone. Now the bad thing here, we were about 19, 20 feet off the center line. Okay, so I went back to wanting to think I'm in a fighter. Okay. Now in a 747, that can be getting you a little close to the edge of the runway. So, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Or the grain of plane you're flying. But the other thing you can look at is how did you do? Pitched up 1.7, 1.4, remember 129? Well, we were fast, so that kind of helped put us in. But folks, overall, that was a good landing. I thought it also said how long you rolled. But anyway, you get a good broad view of your flight there, folks. And again, if I didn't say it, it's free. $0 dinero, dollar, euro, whatever you're used to. It's zero. It's free. All right, we're going to step outside, take a look at this beautiful plane, all in one piece still. We'll come back to the jetway in a few. And yes, folks, that's normal on this plane. The slats, they're pushed back by wind and hydraulics. Once you get it going, the hydraulics will pull it up above 200. But anyway, let's take a look at the other tool X-Plane gives us. Microsoft never has, never probably will. Replay. Up, up, up. Forgot to do something. Hang on a second. Oh, why does it say it's denied? I don't think I've ever seen that. Oh, my simulator's paused? Oh, it's still in replay. That's why. There we go. I thought it was out already. Now let's try. There we go. Let me get logged out of here first, folks. Forgot about that. Don't worry, when I fly on VATSIM, folks, X-Pilot doesn't like me either and tells me, no. Disconnect. Yeah, whatever. And just to make sure, it says log in. And we're not on the map. Doink, doink, and we'll hold right there. Okay, so now we'll go backwards. It's under flight. And then you can go all the way back to when you took off. Look at that if you want. You can do it in flight. It'll just come back. If you're on a virtual network like Poscon, VATSIM, log off, folks. One X-Pilot or Poscon, as you saw, will put you either to ghost or log you off. So yeah. Now let's go backwards. About right there. A little further. Perfect. Maestro. Some music, please. All right, speed it up a little here. I will have to say, folks, watching, in live, that was feeling to me one of my more stable approaches. Here, it's going to look like, oh my gosh, he's just all over the sky, but it's accelerated right now. Flaps are still coming in. And you can see where Hannah and I are both saying it looked like I was going to slam into the ground here in a second. This has got to be nerve-wracking. Think about that's cargo down there, folks. They're coming right over you unless they put you out on the right runway. Didn't look like it when I was on flight aware earlier. I think I had to take a screenshot. Here it goes, folks. Now she starts dropping. See? Got that nose just high enough to stop it, and then float. Look at that perfect fighter landing, except I didn't keep the nose in. All right, well that was a good landing. Let's try from this angle as it drops on top of us. That was pretty cool how that typed out. Couldn't do that again. Wow. Pulled that one out. It did, didn't it? All right. Let's see. Go into the cockpit. Here it comes. The bottom's falling out. And then the nose came up. And see, it looks like it's going to come down hard, folks. That's a... Actually, I never really got under 800, so... This tower, look, that's a good view. You know, if I'd have let it smash, it probably would have hit the aiming point. All right, folks. Well, again, looks good from that vantage point, too. They always do, though, from the tower. Hate to say it to you, folks. All right, folks. I think we're going to go ahead and call it. And reset for tomorrow. Tomorrow is an Airbus. We'll be flying for Allegiant Air. Probably under Millennium Aviation as the virtual airline. But ought to be fun. We're flying from Mid-America Airport outside St. Louis to St. Pete in the Tampa area. And I have payware scenery for that. I will give you links on all two tomorrow. Folks, I want to thank Hannah for following the channel. I want to thank you all for coming aboard. We'll be on for a few more minutes here, but remember, exclamation mark the word tickets and space the number 1 get you entered in the raffle. And I'll, if you win, I'll subscribe you to the channel. Thank you for flying with Mike. We'll see you all tomorrow. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night. See you tomorrow.